Hello all. So this is the third session of Web API testing, and in this session we will see how to like set up Postman in our Windows operating system and how to use Web API for Web API testing. So I will share this Web API application to all of you. You can take this application from Google as well. Okay, so I am just downloading it from my Google Drive. So I will share this you people as well. You can just download this and install this to your machine. I will show you the steps how you can do that. Okay, once it is downloaded, you will see such a kind of interface of this exe file, setup file. Okay, you have to just right click on that file and you have to say run as administrator. Okay, so you will get some security window. Do you see some window? Sometimes Zoom filters this security window, but I am seeing this. You have to say yes, means you have to allow this application to download. Okay. Once you will allow this, it will start installing on your machine. You will see such a installing Postman window. Okay. So you have to wait for some time. It will install this window. Sorry, this application on the Windows operating system. Okay. Once it is installed, it will launch the application. After launching the application, you will see such a kind of window here. Okay, it will ask you for like create free account or sign in, but you can skip these things and you can go to next step directly. So you have to click on skip and go to app. Okay, after this it will ask you for update. You can update your application, or I will suggest just keep with the current version. Just stay with the current version. So I'm clicking on dismiss option. Once it is installed, you will also see this shortcut on the desktop. Okay, so you can also access this application through this desktop as well. So I'm just closing it and just let's try to access this from this shortcut. Okay. Okay, so once it is launched, you will see such a kind of window. What you have to do, you have to find this plus button which is available here. Okay, I am closing the existing one and I am clicking on that plus button. So once you click on that plus button, you will find some such a kind of window. Okay, so here you can see some interface, right? So here you can see this all HTTP method list. So this is drop down. You can select your method list from here. Okay, here you can enter the URL which the API you have to call. Okay, then there are some parameter, authorization, header, body, such a kind of sections. We have to see these all sections day by day in our upcoming sessions. Okay, I will just show you how we can call API from this URL. Okay, from this Postman application. Okay, so what we will do, we created one our APIs, right? We created some APIs and we are having their URL as well. So we will call these APIs. So I'm putting debuggers here. Okay, let's keep run this application. You have to make sure you have to keep running your application when you are calling APIs from the Postman. Postman is the tool which is used to call web API, uh, which are developed by developers in the any application like Java or MVC, C Sharp. Okay, to call these APIs through the Postman, we should have some information. So these are like, first thing is what we should have the URL. Okay, so below things we need to call API from Postman tool. First is what URL, right? Second, we need HTTP type. Okay. Third one, we need input parameter, if any, right? Okay. So let's see what all we have for to call this first API. Okay, we need that HTTP type, then we need URL. Okay, so here, if you see this first URL is used to call this API method, right? Get data method. So we got URL, right? We got full URL. Okay, then we have to see what is the HTTP type. So what is the HTTP type? So it is a HTTP GET, right? So I will say GET in short. The next one is what? Input parameter. So does it has any input parameter? So it has no input parameter, right? So we don't require any input parameter. So we need these three things to get called API from the Postman. So let's come to Postman and put this URL here. Okay. Now what is the next step? We have to select the type, HTTP type. So I have selected get, and then let's try to call the method. So we have to click on the send button. So once you click on the send button, we got some error here. What is that? Uh, 404 error we got, means not found error we got. So let me try this from the browser first. Okay, it is getting called from browser, but we are getting some issue in the Postman, right? So it happens sometime, means sometime it doesn't work properly. We will try this again. I think we have added some space here, because of this it is happening. So I have removed this space as well. Now let's try again. Okay, now it is getting called, right? Actually there was one space added in my URL, that's why it was like showing that error. Okay, now this is how we can call it. So by clicking on the same but send button, we can call the API get called if this information is correct, like method type and this URL and all. Okay, once you like clicked once your API called and you got a result, here you will see the status code, which is 200. So 200 means success. Okay, you got like successfully called your API. Here it shows time, and here it shows size, means how much size it took to load the data. Okay, and here is one section which is having body, cookies, header, and test result. So in body you have to find your result. Okay, you will find your result. Make sure you have to click on the body, and here it should be selected. You can keep selected like pretty raw. In preview you may see, sometime in visualize we will not see anything. Okay, because it is not having visualize option. Okay, so you have to make sure you have to always select pretty, and here from here you have to select your formatter type. So by default it is JSON, and that is fine, means we can understand the JSON. Okay, so this is how Postman looks like, and this is how you can use the Postman. Now we have a one more method which is having some parameters. So we are having that URL created as well. Okay, let's take this and try this. Okay, let's come to Postman. So simply you have to put this URL here. You can see that as soon as I put this URL here, we got some parameter automatically added here, right? So means what Postman does actually, it copy the detail of all the query string parameter from the URL, and it adds here. Okay, so what it did actually, it copied all the parameter from after question mark from the URL, and it has copied these things here. Okay, now the other things are same for this URL as well. Let's click on send button. So it is calling that API as well. Okay, sometime means you can pass your query string parameter through the uh, parameter option as well, which is given here. Okay, so how we can do that? Simply what you have to do, you have to put the actual URL only. Okay. Now, whatever parameters you are having, you have to click on parameter, and here you have to pass your query string. So you have to put your key. So KD key must be the same it is defined in the code. Okay. And you will get this detail from the developer. Okay. And then you have to put here value. So value I'm putting 12. So you will see automatically it will concatenate this query string parameter here. Okay. So this is how you can do that. Okay. Now there is one more method. The method name is get data m parameter, right? So you have to simply add this name here. Okay. Then it is having two parameter. One is id, then other one is what? Name, right? So you have to add name here. You can give some names like Saurabh. Okay, you can see that it has automatically concatenated this detail, and it will call this method. Okay, this one, right? And we got this two values as well from this postman. Okay, so this is how you can call get method through the postman. Now, sometimes there is a chance you like what we can say you put incorrect URL in this search box or URL box, and you try to hit with some incorrect details. So let's see what happened in that case. Okay, it has called this ID uh, method because it is matched with this name. Okay, so let's put some invalid name. So I'm adding some triple one here. Let's run this. Now, if it doesn't find the URL, in that case, you will get 404 error here. Okay. 404 means what? Not found, right? And also, you will get such a kind of message like no HTTP resource was found that matches the resource this, correct? So this is this kind of things you will get, okay, in the response. So you have to find this status code and you have to find these errors. Okay, one more thing I want to show you here. What if you there is some error in the code? In case of error in the code, let's see what happened. Let's add one more method. Some error, right? I will say some error, and let's not add any input parameter to this. Let's make some error. I'm having one string variable which is having some value a sorry ww, and let's define one more variable I equal to convert dot to integer. Okay, actually I am what we can say, I am forcefully trying to like generate some error here. So let's try this. What happened? Let's see what happened if there is error. Actually this is string value, right? ww, and I am trying to convert this into the integer, and we know that it will not get converted, right? Let's try to call this from postman and let's see what happens. Okay, okay, let me remove this from the code. What is our URL? URL is this, right? Let's open the postman. I am opening new tab here. My previous tab is here, right? So let's put this URL. We have to call this method which is having some error, right? Copy this method, come to postman and call it, right? After that we have to say send. So it will call this method, and here there is some error, right? Input string was not in correct form. Let's see what happened. Okay, so in that case you will get 500 status code, right? And you will get such a error here. Okay, so make sure when you are calling APIs you have to make sure these things. Okay, the last thing we have to see how to call post method. So this is my post method. Just go to this URL, just copy this, then copy this name here and put it here, right? And make sure you have to select post from here. If you will not select it, you will get no requested resource does not support HTTP GET. You will get 405 error, method not allowed, right? Because method is having post type and you are trying to call it with GET, right? So in that case, you will get method not allowed error. Okay, so here I have selected post. Now let's try to call it. Okay, so it is successfully called, right? So this is how you can call get post method to the postman, and you have to make sure you have to use postman only for our upcoming all API testing, right? Okay, so I will share this postman tool with you guys, and you guys make sure you install it and you like try this by seeing this video. Okay. Okay, so this is how you can like work with postman. So I'm stopping here.